Welcome to Jazu Harlem.
Yeah.
My name is Lolita Jackson, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees here at the National Jazz Museum in Harlem. And the Jazz Museum promotes the Jazz in Harlem experience to New York City residents and to national, international, and online audiences. We have 4 core programs: education, performance and outreach, exhibits, and partnership, which intersect to build a broader, more inclusive, and more sustained audience for jazz. We provide performance opportunities and career exposure to jazz artists in Harlem, New York City, and worldwide to help make jazz accessible to everybody on the planet. Each year, the Jazz Museum produces more than 180 free and highly subsidized performances, activities, and events, and serves over 200,000 people of all ages, school children on up, ethnicities, nationalities, backgrounds, and income levels. From Harlem, New York City, we get visitors who find out about us online and come in from all over the world. Our 2 artistic directors, 8-time Grammy Award winner Christian McBride, as well as Grammy and Oscar Award winner Jon Batiste, are actively involved in the activities of the museum. We're joined this evening by our Executive Director, Tracy Hyder-Suffren, and Trustee Mike Williams. Mike, raise your hand. There you go. So please speak with any of us after for more information on how to get involved with the museum and know more about what we do. The idea for Jazu Harlem came for me a number of years ago. I'm a fellow of the U.S.-Japan Leadership Program. Those of you also in it, raise your hand. Which is sponsored by the U.S.-Japan Foundation. And when I was first inducted as a delegate in 2010, as a jazz singer, I always wanted to explore the relationship between Black Americans and the Japanese people through jazz music. I've been fortunate enough to actually perform as a jazz artist in Tokyo several times, and the audiences are outstanding. In addition, in 2011, after 3/11 disaster in Japan, one of the first fundraising events in New York City I was aware of while I was at the mayor's office, I worked there at the time, was actually hosted by Black jazz musicians in Harlem. They felt Japan was a loyal audience for them and helped them survive when US audiences turned to other genres in the 70s in particular, and they wanted to give back directly. And I was at a show at the Blue Note where Joe Sample had been playing, God rest his soul, I love that man. But he was playing not long afterward. He said, they told me to cancel my tour. I'm not canceling, I'm going to Japan. And everybody just really clapped and understood that. And so based on all of this, when the US-Japan Foundation asked for submissions from USJLP fellows, for grant funding for projects that epitomize the US and Japan connections, I jumped at the chance. So I'm grateful to the US-Japan Foundation for their $10,000 grant to us, particularly Jake Schlesinger, the president, to produce tonight's program, which is being viewed across the country through the links, and indeed in Japan and across the world. We hope this is the first in a series of programs that bring together Japanese and Black American musicians. That's what Jazu Harlem means to us. We hope to provide concerts such as tonight's, both in New York City and Japan. And hopefully next summer we'll be able to do this in Japan when those of us who are there for our conference are going to be able to participate. I want to acknowledge both James Burke from Make Music New York, raise your hand, James, and Aaron Friedman, the founder of Make Music New York and the head of Make Music Day. We hope to have another Jazu Harlem program on June 21st of next year, right here, as part of Make Music New York, so pay attention to that when that comes. Before I introduce tonight's musical guests, I'd like to give a shout out to Ryan Maloney. Ryan, where are you? Are you in the back? Ryan? He's in the back. But he put this together, made this happen, so when he comes out, we'll make sure that we acknowledge him. He masterfully put this together, so I want to thank him. Yeah, come on. Yes, you. There you go. So he did all of this. I also want to thank Todd Nicholson, I'm not sure if he's here yet, from the Japan Society. He's Director of Major Gifts, who's also was a jazz bassist in Japan, so he really understood what we're trying to do here. And we look forward to working with the Japan Society on future programming and events for Jazu Harlem. And finally, I want to thank Byron Stitham, our sake sponsor, proper sake, because it is proper. Isn't it delicious? Byron is also a member of USJLP, so when I tasted his sake, we were in Seattle together, I said, that's going to be perfect for our event. So if you're interested in purchasing that, please talk to him. Now I'll introduce our fabulous musicians. So you may have seen the name of the original musician on piano. Unfortunately, he got very ill today. So only in New York can you say, we need another Japanese female pianist, and in an hour's notice you can get that. So our pianist today, wonderful, Eri Yamamoto. So Eri was born in Osaka, Japan, And she began playing classical piano at the age of 3 and started composing at 8, so she started really early. In 1995, she visited New York for the first time, as many of us do, and was so inspired by a performance by pianist Tommy Flanagan, she said, I'm going to move to New York and study jazz. So she went to the New School here in New York. She studied under Reggie Workman, Junior Mance, and Leanne Ledgerwood. While in school, Ari started playing at the Avenue B Social Club in the East Village. And in 1998 began a 20-year assignment or engagement at Arthur's Tavern in the Village. A Woman with a Purple Wig is Ari's new release, and her 14th as a leader. The powerful music came out of her experiences as being an Asian woman living in New York City during the pandemic. A Woman with a Purple Wig recently won the prize for the best music video at the prestigious Big Apple Film Festival in the spring of 2023. And Dia Owens is a Detroit-based, from the D, recording artist, bassist, and composer. She's been mentored by jazz icons the likes of Rodney Whitaker and Ron Carter. And Dia has toured and performed with Wynton Marsalis, Jennifer Holliday, Diana Ross, Solange, John Batiste, Jasmine Horn, Dee Dee Bridgewater, just to name a few. And Dia graduated from Juilliard in 2018 and joined The Late Show with Stephen Colbert as a member of the house band, Stay Human. Since then, she has won a Grammy, an Emmy, and a George Foster Peabody Award. Her works appeared in John Batiste's Grammy Award-winning album, We Are, Oscar-nominated film Judas and the Black Messiah, and hers widely acclaimed Super Bowl 55 performance. She's so amazing that unfortunately she has to depart the show a little early, as she's been called to perform with Mary J. Blige, and needs to head out for rehearsal for that at 8:30. So we're just happy that we got her as long as we do. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.